Hi, I'm Phyllis from Sew, and welcome back to my channel. And today I want to show you a UFO that I had started one time, and I made this panel up, and I thought it was time that I quilted it and got it in a different stage to store. And so I made this panel up a while back, and I had a little bit of this print and a little of the yellow and a little of the blue. I had made a quilt, a full-size quilt one time with these fabrics, so I had a little bit left. So I thought I'd try and make this Sunbonnet Sue. So I made her up, and I appliqued her with, I don't know whether you can see this little stitch here, all around here. This is a blind hem stitch on my machine, and most people have that one on their machine. And it's a nice way of doing applique, I think. And then I put a little extra batting. Well, I made the panel up, of course, and then I put some extra batting in underneath her. I don't know whether you can see that she's puffy. There's a little thread there. And then I put some, well, I had some flannelette here. So I used flannelette because I didn't want it real heavy, and I just thought the flannelette would. And then I had some off-white cotton broadcloth, so I used that for a backing. And then as I quilted her, I started and I quilted around her arm and that, but then when I started going around here, I just sort of echoed it all the way around and just went further out as I went. And then when I got to the yellow, I stitched in the ditch on both sides of the yellow, and then I just made some, well, hopefully straight lines, but not quite, down the sides and across the end, the top. So I'm ready to, well, I have partial trim, but I'll show you how I get my border even. I have 2.5 inches. And I line up the edge of my right along here, 2.5 inches, and then I will must have an extra seam or something there. And then that gives me a nice straight edge. Need a new blade. And now I'm ready for my binding. And I have my binding made up. It's not perfect, but I think it'll work all right. The rest of the quilt has no red in it. This has the primary colors. But I think the red will just maybe add a little bit of color. But there's not a lot of red, but there is a little bit will show up every so often. So I think this will work. I would have liked to have had this, but I don't have enough of this to bind it. So that's one of the UFOs that I have here that I have it almost finished now. Just the binding and the binding is all ready to go, so it won't take me long. And then I have another UFO that I work on at times. I have about a dozen of these 9 patches that I made, and they're scraps that I put together. And let's see. So they're all different colors. That one I have marked for the quilt. So I think I have a dozen of these blocks, and I could make more if I need it. And then I'll show you. How I put them after I get them quilted. I line them up. Making sure my rows are straight. You can kind of feel where the rows are, and then you check them. And then I pin it in here. And then I sew right along the edge of my quilt block. I'll put this one in the other way. And then press this seam open. And then I will fold this back in like this. And then this will get folded back in as well. And this forms your sashing. And being this has just one seam down here, I'm afraid that it might, if your thread broke, you might have 2 quilts. So I do a stitch down that covers both sides, like a zigzag or a triple zigzag, or I have another stitch that I like to use. It goes down, it goes across on one side and then goes down and crosses onto the other side. And that makes a nice stitch. So that's how I plan on putting it together. And you see I've got the 9 patch, but they're opposite. This one has 4 of the scrappy blocks. This one has 5. So 4 and 5. This is the 5. This is the 4. And then I alternate them. So that's what I'm into working on right now. And then I have another quilt that I kind of set away before Christmas that I have to finish up soon. So I've got lots to keep me busy. So thanks for watching, and bye now.